Hello everyone! This term we're going to be exploring musculoskeletal case scenarios from a biopsychosocial lens. You've likely heard about the biopsychosocial model before, but if you need a refresher, this video is for you. The goal of the biopsychosocial model is to look at the whole person and consider all of the different factors that might be influencing them, which can also influence whether or how well they're able to follow your treatment plan. Maybe you already know this without even knowing that you do. Try thinking about it this way. You have a client named Anya who fell and fractured her wrist. How might your perception of Anya be different if I told you that she's a varsity volleyball player with high endurance and full range of motion, versus if I told you that she has decreased strength in her legs, high levels of fatigue, and uses a walker for mobility? What if I told you that Anya had osteoporosis or arthritis? What if I told you that she was 82 or 47 or 13? These are all biological factors that can greatly influence a person, and whatever influences them can influence how they interact with their healthcare team and treatment plan. Let's say that Anya is a 32-year-old female with full range of motion who was previously independent for everything before breaking her wrist. How might your perception of Anya be different if I told you that she has a diagnosis of anxiety versus if I told you that she has a generally upbeat personality? What if I told you that she has poor coping mechanisms or that she has high motivation? Does your perception change if I tell you her self-esteem is high or low? These are all psychological factors that can greatly influence a person. And remember, whatever influences them can influence how they interact with their healthcare team and treatment plan. Let's say that Anya doesn't have any mental health diagnoses. She has high motivation but low self-esteem. How might your perception of Anya be different if I told you that she was single, married, divorced, or widowed? How might it change if Anya has a child, or 3 kids, or 7 kids? Does it change if I tell you that Anya and her family are Haudenosaunee? First-generation immigrants from Germany? Second-generation immigrants from Hong Kong? What if she identifies as Hindi, or a Muslim, or Christian? If she lives in a big urban city with lots of friends around her, or a small rural town where she rarely sees anyone? These are all social factors that can greatly influence a person, and, you guessed it, whatever influences them can influence how they interact with their healthcare team and treatment plan. There are many different bio, psycho, and social factors that can affect a person. Now, I want to clarify. The goal is not to profile or stereotype your clients. The goal is to understand that each of these underlying factors can greatly impact your client and will likely impact different clients in different ways. You need to be able to recognize these underlying factors and identify what area they are likely rooted in. If you're not sure where something fits, ask yourself, is this factor primarily related to the client's anatomy, physiology and joints, balance, physical fatigue and strength, or range of motion? Is the root of it based in their bones, joints, muscles, tendons, ligaments, circulation, peripheral nerves, or skin? If so, it's likely a biological factor. Is this factor primarily related to how the client thinks or feels? Does it involve their coping mechanisms, self-esteem, motivation, or mental health? If so, it's likely a psychological factor. Is this factor primarily related to the client's values, beliefs, roles, habits, expectations, or norms? Is it rooted in their culture, family, or connection with others? If so, it's likely a social factor. Let's do a quick example to apply this and finish off. Anya tells you that she's tired today. You think that this could be bio, psycho, or social, so you ask her why she's tired to clarify. If Anya tells you that she's tired because she was doing exercises in the morning and overdid it, this is rooted in her anatomy and endurance, so it would be a biological factor. If Anya tells you that she feels exhausted because she can't stop thinking about her broken wrist and how afraid she is that she will re-injure it, this is rooted in how she is thinking and feeling, so it would be a psychological factor. If Anya tells you that she didn't get any sleep last night because her 3-year-old son was up sick all night, this is rooted in her family and her role as a mother, so it would be a social factor. In real life and in practice, these factors tend to overlap each other, but for the purposes of your education right now, we split them up so that you don't get lost in the weeds trying to research too many things. If you find something that feels like it overlaps, try to break it down and see what part of it falls into which domains. And remember, you always have your group and your professors for support.